writing SMART goals? How many of you feel like now you know how to revamp and write SMART goals? Because we got to go through the process, okay? So what I want you to do in your Cornell notes, I want you to wrap this thing up. How would you summarize what I've taught you today? And put it in your notes. Because that's how you make sure you understand what the teacher taught. Did we take up all the page? Is this a better style of note taking? So what strategy did I teach y'all? That's the skill I taught you guys, but what strategy are we using? Cornell notes, okay? But what is our learning target for today? To be able to write what? SMART goals. So what's the one piece that you're missing to be able to write your SMART goal? The what? The summary. No. That's for your Cornell note. What haven't I given you yet? So we can start the data. Because remember, I started this because what are we working towards? Learning our what? Our data. We're going to look at our data. You said data?
Yes.
Did you say it loud?
Yes.
I didn't hear that. Is he loud?
No.
He's like, yes, I said it. All right, you guys, go ahead and summarize that thing real quick. Write a quick summary.
So we're writing a summary about what a SMART goal is.
You're writing a summary about what a SMART goal is. And what is this strategy called again? What are we doing? Cornell notes. Going forward, whenever I introduce you guys to something, what kind of notes do we need to write?
Cornell notes.
There it is, babies. There it is. What kind of notes? All right. Why do we do Cornell notes?
Because they're faster.
They're faster, but what else?
You actually learn something.
You learn something because you are doing what?
Writing it down.
Not necessarily writing it down.
You're breaking it up into small pieces.
You're breaking it up into small pieces by only writing what parts?
The important parts.
The important parts. And then over on the side, how many of you were also writing examples? Okay? Don't forget that part. How many of you copied exactly what I had over there? How many of you went back and put some examples in? Okay? You can if you need to. All right? So, what strategy did we learn? Cornell knows. What is our learning target? What are we going to get ready to do? Right? What?
SMART goals.
There it is, my babies. And so, what's the last piece of information you guys need from me? Y'all ready for this data talk?
Yes.
All right. Data, you know, it just depends on where you're from. All right, cool kids. Listen, before I give you guys your data, I want you, after you summarize, well, look, you know what? Let me give you another minute to summarize, okay? And for those of you who are done summarizing, I want you to flip the script and turn to page 27. Y'all there? I want you to look at the very bottom of page 27. But I'm going to wait because I know everybody's not there yet. Hands up if you're still summarizing. All right, I'll slow down and I'll wait. And I'm getting ready to give you guys some information. What kind of goals are we about to write?
SMART.
All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Now, do we have some growing to do?
Yes.
Based off of this data, do we have anybody in the blue?
No.
But at the end of the year, what are we about to have?
Blue and green.
We're about to have some distinguished. We're about to have more what colors?
Blue.
Blue and green. So then let's set a class SMART goal. How could we turn this into a class SMART goal? Wait, y'all gotta think about it. Give everybody time. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let me hear from you.
To have,
Say it loud.
to have blue and yellow, 19 and green, 7.
All right. So you want us to be real specific. How can we turn it into a class SMART goal? Let's see. Who haven't I heard from? I mean, it's saying people volunteering, but I'll take it. Go.
By the end of the year, the whole class should be in green or blue.
By the end of the year, the whole class should be in where?
Green or blue.
Green or blue. But because we have some people in the red, is it going to be attainable for all?
No.
So then what do we need to do to make it attainable for all? We need, go. All right, so 50% of the class needs to be in a green or blue, and 50% needs to be where? Yellow. But if we look at the numbers, we only have 2 that we need to move. So is it safe to say that we'll have a higher number in the blue and green, and we'll have a smaller percentage in the yellow? But at the end of the day, go ahead, baby.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, by the end of the year, have like 75% in the green and blue, and at 25 in the yellow.
All right, but at the end of the day, are we still growing? Okay, that's the lesson I want you to take. If you have an F, is it necessary for you to shoot for the stars and get that A?
No.
For some of you, yes, but if you put that pressure on yourself, what if you have an F in something? What if I have an F in math? I don't understand math, right? But what if I move that F from a C? Didn't I still make moves?
Yes.
And what are we? We're on the what? Move. We're on the move. Look at the data wall. We are on the what?
Move.
We are on the move. So listen, if you look at your sheet, I want you to look at the bottom real quick before I give you these numbers so these numbers make sense to you. Are we looking down at the bottom?
Yes.
Let's look at the first thing. I'm on page 27, okay, babies? I'm on page 27, because what kind of goals are we writing?
S.M.A.R.T.
But what are we about to get?
Our data.
All right, so on page 27, go down to the very bottom. It says understanding what kind of scores? Scale scores and descriptors, okay? So listen, I'm looking at STAR first. If you have a 585 as a STAR score, a STAR Lexile, what does that mean? What category do you fall in?
Developing.
Developing, because I said you had a 5 what? A 580. That puts you in developing for STAR. Got it? A 580, if you look over there, a 580 is a stretch Lexile for what grade?
Third.
Third. I put your Lexiles over there. This is not for you to feel bad, but the more you know, the more you can what?
Grow.
The more you know, the more you can grow. Have y'all ever had a dad talk like this yet? First time for everything, because what are we doing? We're on the what?
Move.
We're on the move. All right. Next, if you have a 5, we're still using the same number. What did I say? 5 what?
85.
A 585. If you have a 585, that means you are developing. What would your score probably be on a milestone as well? You're probably going to fall in what category? You're going to, no. You're still going to fall in developing. Listen, let's look down at the bottom. The numbers don't match. Do you understand? So just because you have a 580 as a star, that does not mean the same as a 580 on a milestone. Do you understand? And the reason we're going to talk about what that means, because I don't want you guys to get confused, okay? So listen, let's say that your Lexile is a 1330. Where does that put you? Your star is a 1330. Where does that put you reading-wise?
12 and 11. 12 and 11.
Where are you? Are you going to be distinguished?
Distinguished.
All right, so let's look at these 4 descriptors. So when I ask you where does it put you, we're going to use descriptors, okay? So let's say you have a 1365 as a Lexile. What descriptor are you in for star?
Distinguished.
Distinguished, right? So that means that you're reading above grade level, right?
Yep.
Now let's look at the milestone. But what if you have a 480 for your milestone score? You're developing. Does that match?
No.
That tells me that you are capable and you are reading at grade level and performing above grade level, but when you took that milestone, were you playing?
Yeah. It was the writing.
It was the writing, all right? But that Lexile means that your writing kind of corresponds with your reading. So again, were you playing?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you another question. What if you score a 1313 on the star? Where does that put you? It puts you proficient. And you score a 545 on the milestone. Where does that put you?
Proficient.
Are you performing where you're supposed to be?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So now do you understand how to read this data?
Yes.
When I give you this, everybody look, I'm going to give you this. Whose eyes is it for?
Mine.
When you get it, You see that little category where I already put those grids for you? You see it? Glue it on top of it, okay? Do you understand?
Yes.
And then I want you to just check your numbers and reflect, okay? As you are checking and reflecting, I want you to answer number 3 and number 4 on page 26. So, when I give you the number, what's the first thing you do?
Glue it.
You glue it. After you glue it, what do you do?
Look at it.
You look at it. What are you doing when you look at it?
Reflect.
You're reflecting, all right? All right, so when I call your name, let's go. Victoria.
You glue it on the ruler?
No, you glue, everybody look. You glue it in this grid down here. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
You just glue it over there. Whose eyes only?
Yours.
Yours. Some of y'all are trying to be nosy. This is not an embarrassment thing. This is the more you know, the more you what? Grow, because we are on the what?
The on the move.
We are on the move because when it's all said and done, what kind of goals are we setting?
SMART goals.
All right. Love y'all. Victoria. Get the glue in. Kennedy. Victoria. Other Victoria. Yeah, y'all come meet me. Y'all
There's
know.
2 Victoria.
Victor. Did you come me? Victor, you know what you're doing, right? Okay. Diego. Elijah. Deshaun. Patrice. Girl, you got a beautiful name. Jamal. Cam. Huh? Did you say what's this? It is. I'm going to explain to you guys where I got this data, okay? Don't worry. What is the only thing I told y'all to do?
That's tough.
What did I tell y'all to do? Because some of y'all are looking. Glue it, reflect. I'm going to tell you where I got it from. Dwayne. Mikael. Come, y'all meet me so we can make this go faster now. Don't touch anybody else's. Ayana. Abigail. Come on, y'all meet me. Let's get it fast. Eliana. Zachariah. Andrew. Some of y'all are already looking. Why are we looking? Mind your business. Micah. Imani. Reginald. Michael Sullivan. Rashana. Where's Rashana? Michaela. She got called out. Jason. Brianna. Justin. Brandon. Marthalia. And India. So those people aren't here. It's okay. What's your name? Justin? No. What's your name? Demetrius? All right, so I'm going to pull yours, okay? All right. So, pause. Everybody pause. Pause. Did y'all glue it? All right. Some of y'all are moving slow. Listen. Let's talk about something real quick, okay? Does everybody have their data? For those of you who don't, I'm going to pull it and give it to you. But there's something I want you to think about. Are y'all listening?
Yes.
Are you able to see exactly where you are? How many of you are shocked by some of the information?
Not ours.
How many of you have some growth goals that you're ready to make? How many of you have some SMART goals that you're ready to make? Why was it important for me to give you this information before I started doing any heavy teaching?
So you can make your goal.
So you can do what?
Make your goal.
Not only that, does it refocus you? Why are you refocused? Go.
So you can know like what level you're at.
So you can know what level you're at. All right, everybody, listen. Listen, listen, listen. Are y'all listening? Look at your data again. And I want you guys to answer questions 3 and 4 on page 26. Okay? Baby, answer questions 3 and 4 on page 26. After you answer that, are y'all listening? You are going to go to page 28. Turn to page 28. You see where it says page 28. Because now we're back at the board. I want you to create 3 what kind of goals? 3 SMART goals. One is going to be for your academics. What do you think I want you to focus on academically? Your what? What did I just give you? Data. The more you know, the more you can what? Grow, because we are on the what? We're on the move. So listen, I want you to create at least 1 SMART goal for academics, specifically for your what? Your data. Okay? Next, create 1 SMART goal for your personal growth. You understand? Any personal growth goal that you want. Okay? The next one, you get to choose. Any kind of goal you want. Are we clear? So what 5 things are you doing? You're answering what 2 questions? 3 and 4 on page what? 26. Then, what are you telling me on page 28? 3 SMART goals. Listen, as you are doing them, make sure that they are what kind of goals? SMART, which means you go through the process. And when in doubt, this is why your notebook is set up the way it is. When you're on page 29, or when you're writing on page 28, what do you get to check to make sure that your goal is accurate? Your Cornell notes. On page 29, you are able to check to make sure that each goal that you write meets which criteria? The whole process. All right, babies? All right, so what, yes, baby? Do you have to do what? It's up to you, baby. I just glued the whole strip. All right, so, yes, baby?
I'm sorry. The Lexile score, was it the highest one?
It was the highest one. Listen, oh, that's what you needed to know. So let's talk about, he asked where the Lexile score came from. Are y'all listening? Here's what this data is. Data. I went in and I pulled the results from the milestone that you took in the 7th grade. That is your most recent Lexile level data, all of that. That is the most recent information. The reason you need to know this information is so we can what? Set goals so we can do what? Grow. So then, if you were in this category of developing, which was 19 of you, where do we need to go? We need to go to the green. The 7 of you who were proficient, where do we need to go?
The blue.
To the blue. Do you understand that growth is growth? Okay? All right, so with that, I'll wait. With that, absolutely no talking. Go ahead with the time that we have left. Reflect. Answer questions 3 and 4 on page 26. And then write your 3 SMART goals on page 28. All right? Did I help you guys understand where you are? Mm-hmm. The more we know, the more we what? Grow. When it comes to taking notes, what kind of notes are we taking? Cornell. And when we set goals, what kind of goals do we set? SMART goals. All right? Get to writing. Yes, baby? No, we don't have enough time. Okay, baby? I know. But remember, it's a 10-10 rule or 15-15. One of them. You weren't supposed to do that. Read before only. When in doubt, 1 goal is supposed to be for your academics, 1 for your personal growth, and 1 of your own choosing. Yes, ma'am. Whatever is specific to you, a goal that you have within yourself. Yes, baby. Look at your data. I already told you your data. So the question is, I will increase my Lexile score by, so this is your current Lexile. And you have the data over there, it tells you where you are. So right now, you're in a certain range. What do you want to increase this number to? By when? That's your SMART goal, okay? You guys have all the data you need.